Grandpa and Grandma are like stars, not always seen, but forever there.
Welcome to the AfterTalk show where we talk about awesome movies, great movies, interesting movies, and what's good about them and whether you should watch it
Or not.
or not. We have just came back from watching The Kid from the Big Apple, which is directed by Jess Tiong, who wrote and directed this movie. I think she
Yes.
did a pretty good job at this.
Yeah. This is the first time directing a movie actually. Because
Yeah, I
before
think
this
this is the
she was usually a co-producer or a writer for different movies. Movies that she's produced are like Come Play With Me and Paper Moon, which is it's not a huge hit like how this movie is.
Yes, and I was really surprised. I mean, we were surprised watching this movie by how well this movie was shot and how the story as well was a very compelling,
And yeah,
family-oriented story.
Yeah, that's before talking about that. Let's talk about how the movie has already won a lot of awards as well.
Yes. One of the awards was the Golden Horse, which is the annual awards for Hong Kong movies, if I'm not mistaken. It also won for the 7 Macau International Film Festival, and it was also the official finalist for the Screenplay Awards in Hollywood, which took place in both years, 2013 and 2014. So it won for 2 years, which is... I feel so proud
they
to
didn't
know
win,
that there
though.
is a Malaysian movie out there that's winning awards.
I mean, they didn't win, but then they were finalists for the Hollywood ones.
All right, sorry.
So this movie has also, which I'm like really glad about as well. He won Best Supporting Actor, Best Actor, Best Newcomer, and also Best Writing, which is from Jess Tiong as well.
So Rick, can you give us the lowdown on what the summary of the story is?
How this girl's actually was brought up in America, and she's probably at the age of 11 to 12, and was being brought by the mom to live with her grandfather for a few weeks while she goes to China to do some fashion industry work. So this whole movie is just inclusive of how this kid literally just eventually starts liking the country and adapts to the culture and the tradition that are being conveyed years and years in Malaysia itself.
Okay, so let's talk about how these different characters, I think we'll break it down to the four main characters. There are the girl, Sarah, there's her grandfather,
Tommy.
there's her mom, and there's the little fat boy, which we'll talk about soon. So spoilers alert. Let's talk about the girl. What were her obstacles and how did she overcome them?
Like first of all, this kid, I mean, she's not an American actor, so she couldn't pull off the American accent.
Yeah,
But
I think it was torturous for me to actually.
I mean, it
hear
wasn't
her
so
English.
torturous because first of all, she's a newcomer. Like she's a first time
True.
acting. So
Yes.
I wasn't giving like this kid. She can't really speak American when like she's supposed to be that part, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she did try her best, but obviously she didn't like really pull it off.
It's
a good.
almost overdone.
Yes.
But not to a point where it was like I gotta get out of the cinema. I can stand the sound of that.
What was really good was the director managed to switch that to her speaking Mandarin. That's when she became a lot more fluent in Mandarin. That's when you open up yourself to try to understand her a lot more.
That's how we allow her character being able to understand and speak Mandarin, that she's able to connect with the other kids in the neighborhood as well as her grandfather.
A lot of bonding happened when she started speaking Mandarin, because before this, like, she was just avoiding herself from a lot of people because she clearly didn't like coming back to Malaysia when she was living back in when she can be living back in New York.
So in regards to the story, how Sarah, whose name is pronounced as Salah, which is in the Malay language it means wrong or a mistake. She starts opening herself up to people through the kids first, I think. And then through the neighborhood kids who wanted to play with her, wanted to introduce themselves to her, then I think she got really settled down with the whole environment and then slowly adapted to the lifestyle of her grandfather.
Yeah, as you see, like, even though like she's been brought in New York and was brought here to Malaysia, but she's still a kid, so she can't really connect with the grandfather.
Not directly,
Yeah, at first. So like,
if you guys don't know, yes, we are actually shooting this in the midst of a crazy lightning storm. So please don't mind the thunderbolts. We can't see a thing out the window. We can't see a thing outside the window. This is not part of the movie review, but we're just letting you know in case you're wondering.
We're in a movie right now.
Yeah, and all the
you
thunderstorms
guys
are happening.
Her bond increased when the fat kid, which is his name is Apao.
Apao.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Apao. Yeah, she opened up herself a lot more to the people that through Apao and her the friends, the small kids as well. Which is a lot nicer to see that way.
Okay, so the character of the grandfather, Tilong.
Tilong.
For those of you who don't know,
Tilong.
he is
Tilong.
don't make fun now. He is a Hong Kong actor, which I didn't realize. I thought it was a local Malaysian actor, but he's an old Chinese kung fu martial arts actor who was in one of those old movies from the Shaw Brothers.
He also appeared in a minor role, very minor role in if I'm sure a lot of people know Drunken Master too. Drunken Master, Jackie Chan movie.
Oh my gosh, yes, he was Jackie Chan's dad in Drunken Master 2. Oh my gosh.
He was in a very minor
That was
role.
him. So that makes sense of a lot of things,
Well,
right? Okay, anyways.
Technically,
so,
I made sense.
You made sense. You made sense. Okay. He really struggled through the first half of the movie trying to get used to a granddaughter who he assumed at first does not speak a word of Chinese at all. I think he represented the audience when he finally realized she could speak Mandarin, and then we were also like, oh, she can speak Mandarin,
Yeah.
that's good. That's
But
great
what
for him
was
as well.
really impactful is his expressions were very, very neat and very natural as well.
Oh, yeah.
Was very genuine at the same time. When parts where when she starts speaking Mandarin, instead of getting angry, he you could see a relief in his face that wow, she could speak Mandarin. I could tell her a lot of things and she could communicate with me now. Now we can understand each other a lot more. That kind of feel. You can from one facial expression he can raise woo woo woohoo woo.
I like how the movie ended where you have the grandfather follow the kid to New York and visit, because throughout the whole movie it seemed like he was going to be unable, maybe due to health issues, to actually go and visit the daughter and the granddaughter in New York.
Yeah, but it's very typical of, because directors want to play with humans' emotions to end things happily or end things a bit sadly. So some movies convey things like, oh, that elderly person wants to stay back because home feels like home,
Yeah,
but
not willing to adapt.
But not willing to adapt as well. But what's really great about this movie is, even though home is still home, but family comes first, and he has no one else except for the mom and the granddaughter.
Yeah, and I like how they use the point where as long as you are learning, you will improve.
Yeah.
That phrase. So he uses that to allow the grandfather's character to, I should adapt, I should learn how to use the internet or things like that. I should learn how to use the iPhone and iPad. The mother, she is
And hot
Jessica. Can't believe you just said that.
She's pretty hard though.
Okay, Jessica Swen. That's her English name. So in terms of her characters, the mother, her obstacle was initially was kept as a mystery to the audience at first. We were wondering why such the awkward relationship. There must have been something serious that happened in the past.
Yeah.
And then later it was revealed how her sudden pregnancy took her to want to move abroad to the US and then stay there and not necessarily just study there. And that led to upsetting her father, and the awkward relationships.
I mean, the dad has tried going to US because obviously the guy that she left the dad for left her, and she was bringing up her child alone. So, and the dad tried to go to the US to bring her this herb or something for her when she was pregnant.
Yeah, and that's one of the surprising parts.
Eventually, I mean, he couldn't. I mean, he was already in America. I didn't know why he tried to go and visit her.
The herbal medicine he was bringing to the daughter was important to him, because even though he was not agreeable to the pregnancy, he still wants to care about the child in some way, show that he still cares about the daughter. Okay, let's talk about one of our favorite characters, the fat boy, Apao. I think his first appearance in the movie really grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
Well, I knew he was gonna be the most lovable character, this boy.
I mean, first of all, it's so stereotypical of how he's just a fat kid who is funny.
Yeah,
People
jolly.
are so stereotypical nowadays, dude. Nonetheless, Apao as a character actually got us a lot more connected to, first of all, to the grandfather, even Sarah as well. And also he brought the movie in a very, very fun perspective. Like you feel fun watching the movie, not just a lot of sadness happening.
And if you observe throughout the movie, he even gets his own subplot because even his family is also examined and explained a little bit as well throughout the story. You see his parents are sort of neglecting him and how he has to switch sides. He mostly takes the side of his mom and tries to pretend that he's the obedient son.
The dad he cares about the mom, he cares about the kid, but then he doesn't show that he cares. He wants to always be the dominant figure, the dominant huge figure, like how typical Chinese parents are as well. You can see.
Yeah.
And the mom who obviously loves the kid, loves the dad as well, but then like has to pretend like she is like hitting the kid because to show that she's also showing dominance.
Yeah, that she also has some power as well, and not always just giving in to the kid's wishes, which is not entirely true because the kid is not. Because Appa was not a typical spoiled brat, so they showed him as a person who, even though he's part of the younger generation, he's not hooked on the technology and the social media stuff. He knows about them, but he prefers to be on the outdoors and having really quality time with his friends, which I think is very unique to show a unique message to kids these days. I think one of the saddest parts for me was when he was being caned by his father, and he expressed his honesty, like how the parents have sort of
like
lied to him, never kept their promises, but in a way that he wasn't really dissing them as such. He was just explaining.
He's expressing like what he actually really wanted. He don't really care about the technologies. All he wanted was just spend some time with the parents, have quality time, going out. Okay, let's talk about the movie flow right now. Some reviews on the internet says that the movie is too clunky, and also the cutscenes were a bit bad. Some say that the movie flow wasn't too obvious as well, which I went back to differ because I don't really believe that, because the way that this movie was made was they try to connect the audience with the character more through the characters. You understand the whole dynamics of the movie.
I think this movie was deliberately done so as not to purposely make it into a too cinematic typical Hollywood style. The way the cuts were made was to help the audience to feel like you're walking through with these characters through their everyday of their lives, the different things that they do, and then right at the end, how do those separate events actually add up to closing off and healing all these characters and their wounds especially.
A message I would try to say is that I tend to think about how my childhood was before, and how this whole technology thing, especially how it plays with people's emotion, is like through this movie. It goes back to when I'm thinking about how I was trying to teach my mom how to use the technology and her phone, and she was quite slow at using it. But then, even though I don't show it to her, but then I got a bit annoyed because can you do it a bit faster? Like adapt to the current situation, mom. You're so slow right now.
We want things quick every time.
But I don't really say that, even though like I'm kind of annoyed. They brought you up in the state where they were at the peak, and you start from their peak, and you are like going up literally. So like you have to appreciate that, because eventually you are gonna get older as well. Your kids are gonna like be a lot more faster with their gadgets, with their own things, and they are gonna probably say the same thing to you. So appreciate the elderlies, and if they are slow, I mean, they have to be slow. They were fast when they were younger.
So let's give this movie a rating. What's our verdict, Rick?
The verdict for this movie, I'm giving this movie a 9.5. That's
9.5.
That's really, really high, because this movie has connected to me a lot more, and I feel that this movie conveys a lot of different messages. And also, I was gonna say one thing, but I forgot. Think about this shit.
Think about it. It's gonna come back.
I was gonna say something, dude. The way how this movie fluctuated our emotions, we feel a lot of different, and all of our emotions were at the peak. Like, you're sad, insanely sad. We're happy, insanely happy. And this character brought us through this whole incredible roller coaster journey. What about your verdict?
My verdict. I would have to agree. I thought I wouldn't be so generous as to give it a 9.5 as well. But I give it 9.5, despite whatever critics are saying about the weird cuts, and there were some random bits like the little Kung Fu Wing Chun scene, which was very random, but I think it was very well shot. You came to a solid conclusion, the resolution between all the characters, and you find yourself really loving the characters and not wanting the movie to end. I think the pacing was perfect.
Yeah,
It didn't
pacing
feel
was
too
perfect.
long or too quick or too cramped. I thought maybe in the beginning some people might say it's, I don't know, it didn't grab your attention as much. For me, I had to sit through the horrible English of Sarah, but that was tolerable. But go watch the movie yourself and tell us what you think about it in the comments below. Get the DVD, share it with your family. I think they will enjoy it a lot. I'm probably going to do that myself. Alright, so thank you guys for joining us again for another AfterTalk movie review. We will see you guys next time. Share us your thoughts if you have liked this movie or not. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Also, don't forget to follow us on our social media.
Follow me on Instagram is RickRoffRR, and also I do a lot of videos on this channel called Masked Lifestyle, so make sure to follow that and to catch a lot of me doing dancing, a lot of pickup videos as well. So
I'll put the links in the description below, and you can follow me at DJY the Artist at Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.